Late one stormy night, Lily Edwards arrived at the Ashton Manor, an old, seemingly forgotten inn nestled in the misty hills of a remote town. She had been traveling for hours, and the heavy rain outside made it impossible to drive any further. The sign outside the manor was barely visible, but it was the only place for miles, so she had no choice but to check in. The receptionist, an elderly man with a frail voice, greeted her with an eerie, unsettling smile. "Welcome to Ashton Manor, miss. Room 305, he said, handing her the key without a word more. Lily smiled politely, not wanting to seem rude, and made her way up the grand staircase to the third floor. The moment she stepped onto the third floor, the temperature dropped. The hallway was dimly lit by flickering lights, and the old wooden floors creaked under her weight. It felt as if the manor was alive, groaning and shifting in the night. Room 305 was at the end of the hall, its door slightly ajar. Lily hesitated for a moment before pushing it open. The room was large but unsettling. The walls were adorned with faded tapestries, and the furniture looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. The bed was covered in a dusty white quilt, and the window overlooked the dense woods that surrounded the manor. As Lily unpacked her things, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. As the night drew on, Lily decided to take a hot shower to relax. But as she stepped out of the bathroom, she froze. The reflection in the mirror was not her own. A shadowy figure stood behind her, just out of sight. She spun around, heart racing, but no one was there. She quickly turned off the light and got into bed, trying to dismiss the strange occurrence as exhaustion or her imagination playing tricks on her. Around midnight, the sound of footsteps echoed down the hallway. At first, Lily thought it was the wind, but the sound grew louder, more deliberate, as if someone was walking right outside her door. She got up and opened it cautiously, but the hallway was empty. The air was thick with an unnatural chill, and the oppressive silence made her feel like something was wrong. She closed the door quickly and locked it, retreating back to the bed. Just as she settled under the covers, she heard a faint whisper in the dark, coming from the corner of the room. "Leave now, before it's too late." Lily's heart stopped. She knew she had to leave. She quickly packed her things, but as she tried to open the door, it wouldn't budge. The door was jammed, and no matter how hard she pushed, it wouldn't open. The whispers grew louder, and the shadowy figure appeared once again in the mirror. Only this time, it was closer than ever before. Lily screamed, pounding on the door, desperately trying to escape. But just as she felt the grip of something cold wrapping around her ankle, the door swung open. She bolted out into the hallway, running as fast as she could toward the stairs. The shadowy figure followed, its footsteps echoing behind her. Lily never spoke of her experience again, but she knew the truth. The shadows of Ashton Manor still haunted her, and she could feel their presence every time the wind howled through the trees. She had barely escaped with her life, but she was forever marked by the dark force that lived within the walls of Ashton Manor.